Good morning, students. We are going to continue with the chapter Natural Resources. In the previous two videos, I had discussed about the two types of resources, that is natural, man-made, the two types based on use, that is renewable and non-renewable. Then we had talked about air, water and soil, okay, which are natural resources and also renewable. But we have to be very careful. Now, let's talk about minerals. What is common to iron, gold, diamond, ruby and salt? They are all minerals. Rocks are made of mixtures of minerals. A mineral is a special natural occurring solid that does not usually come from plants or animals. Things like sugar and coal come from plants or animals. Metals like iron, copper and aluminium may combine with other substances like oxygen to form different minerals. A mineral form which we get a metal is called the metal's ore. So you see, this part we are talking about minerals. Okay, minerals are not obtained from plants and animals. What are minerals? A mineral is a special naturally occurring solid that does not usually come from plants or animals. Okay, so salt is an example, but sugar is not. Why? Sugar comes from sugarcane plant. Okay, but salt comes naturally. It comes in a form of a rock, which it is found in water. Okay, sea water, and we obtain it from there. So metals like iron, copper, aluminium may combine with other substances like oxygen to form different minerals. So this is how minerals are formed. So if you asked a question, how are minerals formed, you will say metals like iron, copper, aluminium may combine with other substances like oxygen to form different minerals. A mineral from which we get a metal is called the metal's ore. Okay, so in the raw form, the mineral in a raw form from which we can obtain a metal is known as the metal's ore. Okay, so a mineral from which we get a metal is called a metal's ore. Like iron is present in the form of iron ore. From that, the factories bring the iron ore, they process it and get the iron out of it. The minerals we use are non-renewable resources. So now we are talking about a naturally occurring non-renewable resource. This gives us things like metals and gemstones. Metals are used to make nails, wires, tools, pots and pans, cars, jewelry and many other things. In India, the peninsular plateau is rich in minerals. So, most important part, the peninsular plateau is rich in minerals. Okay, we have read about the Deccan Plateau and the Chota Nagpur Plateau region, right? So, these regions are very rich in minerals. So what are minerals? They are non-renewable first and foremost. Now they are used for various purposes. Okay, there are metals and gemstones. Gemstones are the like diamond. Okay, diamond is a gemstone, and diamond, topaz, sapphire. These are the various kinds of gemstones. And metals are like iron, copper. Okay, these are metals. So these are the various types of minerals. Next, coal and petroleum. Again, two naturally occurring non-renewable resources. Coal and petroleum are important fuels. A fuel is a substance that is burned to get heat. Coal and petroleum were formed from the remains of dead plants and animals that got buried millions of years ago. Both are non-renewable resources. So, when I was discussing in details about natural resources, renewable, non-renewable resources in the first video, I had already said that coal, petroleum, they take millions of years to form, right? How are they formed? First and foremost, coal and petroleum are important fuels. A fuel is a substance that is burnt to get heat. That means to provide heat, we need fuels like coal and petroleum. Like in previous times, when there was no gas cylinders, people used to burn coal to make fire on which they used to cook. Okay, so you see, coal is important. Petroleum, cars, buses, they all move with the help of petroleum. How are they formed? Okay, they were formed from the remains of dead plants and animals that got buried millions of years ago. So plants and animals die, okay, they get buried under the soil, and as time passes, millions and millions of years time passes, they slowly convert, they slowly change into coal and petroleum. So you see, it does not happen in 1 or 2 days. It takes millions of years. That is why they are non-renewable resources. The coal is a black rock. The heat from burning coal is used to make steam. The steam is used to run machines in factories and to run generators that produce electricity. Coal is also used in traditional cooking stoves or chulhas. So you see, I already said that coal is burnt to get heat, right? And also we can get steam. Remember the chapter where we are talking about history of transportation? In that chapter, we had seen steam engines, right? There was discussion about steam engines. So coal was used to produce steam on which the engine was run, right? So here also that is being said. Okay, coal is also used to run machines in factories and generators. Okay, so machines and generators which produce electricity also use coal. That means one is hydroelectricity and the other kind of electricity is produced by coal, the kind of electricity we use in our houses. So coal is burned, from that there is steam. This steam helps to provide electricity, which then provides us with the fans and lights, okay, that we are using in our house. And one more thing is the chulha, the cooking stove, the example which I gave you. Okay, petroleum is a thick liquid found between layers of rocks. We dig deep wells called oil wells to get petroleum. Oil wells can be dug on land or on the sea floor. We get petrol, diesel, kerosene and cooking gas or LPG from petroleum. These are used as fuels. We use these to run vehicles, trains, planes, ships and machines in factories, and also to produce electricity. We use LPG and kerosene as cooking fuel. So you see, coal has important uses, particularly two. One is to produce steam and the other is to produce electricity. But petroleum, oh my god, petroleum has so many uses, right? So what is petroleum? Petroleum is a thick liquid found between layers of rocks, and we dig oil wells to get this petroleum. Petroleum is a kind of oil. Okay, oil wells are dug in the sea floors, not on land. Okay, dug on land or on the sea floors. So this is the picture that shows us one of an example of an oil well. Okay, so petroleum is very rare and very limited. Okay, and what are the various types of products that we get from petroleum? The raw material is known as petroleum. Okay, from petroleum we get petrol, diesel, kerosene and cooking gas. Okay, these are the products that we obtain from the raw material that is known as petroleum, and all of these are used as fuel. So diesel, petrol, they are used to run vehicles, trains, planes, ships, machines in factories. Okay, also helps to produce electricity. Okay, kerosene, kerosene lamps. Okay, these kerosene burns to provide us heat and light. And also LPG, which we use in our houses. Kerosene and LPG we also use in our house for cooking. Okay, they are cooking fuel. They are known as LPG and kerosene are known as cooking fuel. So these are the byproducts of LPG. So this is the end of your chapter. It's a very important chapter. This might be a bit difficult, but you need to read the chapter again and again. It will be clearly understood if you read it again and again. So I will end the video here. That's all for today. Thank you and bye-bye.